Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to American House of Languages. American House of Languages, the language experts. Hello, Justine.
Hello there, Charles, and hello everyone that has joined us today. Welcome to my class, and today we will be looking at some typical business idioms. So please do not hesitate to ask any questions at any time. Feel free to write anything in the comments on our Facebook page. Okay, let's get started with the definition of what actually is a business idiom. Well, a business idiom is something that is like a phrase with the meaning that is different from the meaning of its individual words. Idioms are slightly different from slang. They are more in between formal and informal. They're very acceptable in everyday British and American English conversations and emails, and some communication at work. So today I will be having a job interview with Charles after we explain some 4 typical business idioms. I hope you enjoy it, and please feel free to write any questions at any time. Okay, let's look at our very first example. To put it in a nutshell, the definition means to explain a long story in a short way, to get rid of the specific details and get straight to the point. Example number 1. To put it in a nutshell, the servers are crashing because of an issue with our power supply. Example number 2. Let me put it in a nutshell for you. If you show up late again, you're fired.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, guys, look, this is actually one of my favorites. To put it in a nutshell, okay, it means poner algo en resumen. Yes? So I can say, for example, John went to visit a client, and in a nutshell, he got the sale. Okay, so en resumen, agarró la venta. Yes? Or for example, Maria went to London for a business trip, and to put it in a nutshell, the trip was fantastic. It was superb. Okay, so it means that in a summary, okay, it was great. Yeah. All right, Justine. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Any questions on this idiom for now?
Okay, no questions so far.
All right, yeah. And if you do, go ahead and put it in the chat, guys, so you can practice, okay? Remember, this is a class, and we want you guys to feel free and put your comments there or your exercises so we can go ahead and check them out.
Yes, exactly. This is a class and we would love you all to engage. Alright, so let's move on to our second business idiom of the day. Show you the ropes. Definition. To explain to someone how to do a particular job or how something works. Example number 1. It may seem intense, but your colleague has been here for over 10 years and will show you the ropes. Example number 2. This class is intense. You're expected to know everything without anyone showing you the ropes.
Exactly. So thank you, Justine. So guys, show the ropes means to kind of, in Spanish it would be like enseñar a hacer algo o enseñar algo en más detalle, vamos a decir, para que algo sea más cómodo. Yeah. So for example, I could say, when I went to Europe, I had there was a friend of mine over there showing me the ropes. Okay, so it means that he was showing me around Europe. Yes, why? Because I was new to the country, to the region. Okay, so I had a friend of mine show me the ropes. In Berlin, in Amsterdam, yes, and in Paris while I was over there. Yeah. And another example would be we had a new employee coming in to our company in American House of Languages, okay, or maybe a new professor, okay, and we had to show him or her the ropes. It means that we had to show him or her around the company to make him or her comfortable, para hacer ella o a él cómodos. So we show him or her the ropes. Okay? Yeah, very good one for business, guys. Very good one, yeah? So go ahead and practice. Yeah, go ahead and practice and put your examples in the chat, please.
Yes, that's right, Charles. And also you showed me the ropes when I first started off at American House of Languages.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so moving on to our third one, sorry. To pull some strings. The definition of to pull some strings means to use your influence over important people to get something or perhaps to help someone. So let's look at our examples. Example 1. I actually know a few people who work at the restaurant, so I'll see if I can pull a few strings to get you a table. Example number 2. His father pulled some strings to get him the job at the law firm.
All right. Awesome. Pull some strings. This one is a tricky one. Okay, this one is a tricky one. But pull some strings pretty much is to agarrar a alguien, okay, para que te haga prácticamente un favor. Yes? Yeah, that's pretty much it, right, Justine?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah. So, for example, we were in a NBA final game, sitting in courtside. Yeah. So I had to put some strings to get those tickets. In courtside or on courtside, on the courtside. Yeah. Another one could be, for example, if you are on an island and there is a tsunami coming in, yeah, you probably need to pull some strings to get out of that island, okay? Because probably, it's a small airport, and to get out of it, you probably have to pull some strings in order to get out. So tienes que agarrar un favor, que te hagan un favor para poder salir de la isla si hay un tsunami. Whoa! We're celebrating already.
Yeah. I like the last example you gave there, Charles. That was a good one.
Awesome.
Okay, and then now let's move on to our final idiom of the day. This one is to keep your eye on the ball. So this originates, of course, from the game of baseball, where keeping your eye on the ball is something which, of course, means is the difference whether you will win or lose a game. So this means to not lose focus and to pay attention to something important. Let's look at some examples. It's important to keep your eye on the ball this week. Our biggest client will be visiting the factory for random inspections. Example number 2. If Vanessa wants to get into a good university, she will have to keep her eye on the ball and study more.
Excellent. All right. Guys, just like Justine just mentioned here, or as it states here on the board, okay, it originates from baseball, yes. but here is literally, that you're focusing on the ball, the baseball. Yeah. In this case, as an idiom, es metaphorically, es metafóricamente. No es literal cuando estás jugando béisbol, ¿ok? Y estás agarrando y poniendo tu ojo en la pelota. Yes? En este caso es metafóricamente. Yeah? So, to keep your eye on the ball. Yeah? We have this big project going on, and we need to keep our eye on the ball, okay, when it comes to this project. It means that we have to pay close attention to this project, yeah? If, for example, Jennifer is going on a business trip to Japan, okay? And one of her colleagues says, hey, keep your eye on the ball on, this client, on Sony, okay, especially on Sony. So it means that, Jennifer has to keep her eye on the ball, on this client, okay, which is Sony, okay? So keep your eye on the ball. It means put your attention on it. All right?
Yes, exactly. Okay then, Charles. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a role-play job interview. If you could follow me over to the chair at the end of the room. But before that, I would just like to know if any of our audience have any questions at all. Please feel free to ask any questions to clarify anything at this point.
Yeah, guys. Sí, adelante y pongan sus ejercicios para que practiquen sus ejemplos, ¿ok? Y aquí nosotros vamos a agarrar y le vamos a ayudar, ¿ok? Con la estructura de la oración. Así que adelante, pongan todo en el chat, por favor.
Okay, Charles, well, without further ado, shall we go over to our position?
Sure, let's go.
Okay.
After you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so we're going to have a very short job interview now, where our students, our audience, will be able to see these business idioms in a real context. So if any of you have any job interviews coming up, I'm sure you will find it useful to perhaps throw in some of these business idioms. Okay then, let's begin. Good afternoon, Mr. Montenegro. Thank you so much for coming down.
Please call me Charles. Thank you for meeting me today. I've been looking forward for this interview.
Great, Charles. So I am curious to know how you heard about this position.
Word of mouth, actually. An old colleague of mine, Gordon, sent me the job advertisement the other day, and it really caught my attention.
Oh, Gordon Haynes. He is a great guy. Worked with me a few years back too. So why don't we begin with you telling me a bit about yourself?
Well, to put it in a nutshell, I have been a sustainable architect for over 10 years, and I have worked in 3 different countries. And my focus is always on protecting our environment, which is, in other words, creating stunning buildings and workspaces as well.
Perfect. Sustainable architecture is what we are all about here. So, Charles, Do you know much about this company then?
Well, Justine, I always admired Clear Lake architects and thought that working here could be a great opportunity for me. I felt like I needed to keep up to date with our technologies as I'm becoming more of a mature architect now. I don't want to fall behind.
I can assure you that with Clear Lake, we focus on innovation in the most natural way possible. We will show you the ropes without you feeling too overwhelmed. There is a lot to learn in this new field. It is challenging, but very worthwhile. Why don't you tell me some of your strengths?
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. Well, throughout the years, I have developed a strong game when it comes to new projects and achieving success. I always do my best when working, big or small, and I always try to think outside the box. I use my creativity in new designs and make sure it's something unique as well.
Okay, that really sounds like my kind of team player. Those sound like impressive strengths. But now I want to hear about some of your weaknesses.
Well, I would say that perhaps I'm not as tech savvy as some of your younger employees, but I want to stay ahead of the game. So I really put in a lot of effort to make sure that I'm always up to date, Justine.
That's excellent. And honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about that. We have training sessions regularly to ensure all of our employees are well informed with any new developments that are going on. Something that could happen here, though, is perhaps feeling a bit stressed when a deadline is approaching. How do you deal with stressful situations?
All right. Good question. I handle stress quite well, actually. I always keep my eye on the ball with daily tasks, and normally my workload doesn't accumulate to reach that point. However, if it does happen, I write a short list of the main tasks I need to complete and in which order is the most important. This helps me see things clearer and reduce unnecessary stress.
Well, I must say, that's a really simple yet effective strategy. Now, lastly, I'm really interested in hearing what has been your greatest professional achievement so far.
Oh, let me think here for a second. Okay, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. Uh, well, I was working on a project last year, which was the construction of a sustainable mall. But just before the starting point of this, it all fell apart. The client pulled out, and we lost the funding for it. As a team, we were heartbroken, but I didn't lose hope. I managed to sell the idea to a new client, and although we needed to pull some strings, we managed to relaunch the project within 4 months. It is still in the process now and is going very smoothly, Justine.
Wow, I must admit that that is very impressive. You really sound like you commit to your job and are not intimidated by challenging situations. With that said, I think I'm confident to say we will be calling you in the next few days with some positive news. I just need to confirm some things with my seniors, and you will hear from me shortly.
All right. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you and looking forward to hearing from you soon.
Okay, that was great, Charles. Now I would just like to ask my audience some questions. let's just do a little review on the 4 idioms we have just heard. So, to put it in a nutshell, this means to explain a long story in a short way. Our second idiom, show you the ropes. This means to explain to someone how to do a particular job or how something works. Our third idiom of the day, pull some strings, which means to use your influence over important people to get something or to help someone. And lastly, to keep your eye on the ball. This means not to lose focus and to pay attention to something important. This, of course, originates from the game of baseball.
Exactly. All right. Fantastic, Justine. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, no, just wanted to know if anyone listening would like to be brave enough to take a guess and perhaps write an example of some of these idioms in the chat.
Sí, adelante. Recuerden que esto es una clase y estamos aquí para apoyarlos. Nuevamente, estos idioms son muy utilizados en negocios y bueno, aprovechen escribiendo algunos ejemplos para que agarremos aquí y los corrijamos de una vez.
Okay. Let's see if someone has written a comment. Let's have a look.
Yeah, and we are here in Mexico City. Beautiful day today. Yeah. So, and also let us know where you guys are coming from. Déjenos saber también de dónde vienen, por favor. Nosotros estamos aquí en Ciudad de México.
Well, someone's correctly used the idiom of pull some strings. The question is, can you pull some strings to get me some free classes with American House of Languages?
Clever,
That's a good one.
Clever. Yes.
Of course we can.
Clever. Definitely, yeah. And we also, always have promotions, guys. We have great packages that you guys can buy. The rate is the lowest in the country. And remember that we also have classes, all around the world as well, not only Mexico. Recuerden que también tenemos clases no solamente en México, pero también por el mundo también disponibles. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Any other questions, guys? Any other comments, Justine?
I just really hope that these idioms have been useful to our audience so far. And please never hesitate to contact American House of Languages so that we can show you the ropes when it comes to English.
Fantastic. Yes, guys. Once again, welcome to our class. Bienvenidos a nuestra clase. Espero que le haya gustado. Y bueno, vamos a tener más de estas clases para que puedan agarrar y aprender de este tipo de idioms y otros temas también. Recuérdense que estamos como Mexican House of Languages en Facebook, American House of Languages también, y en Instagram también nos pueden buscar por ahí. Okay? Y también si no han visto nuestra página web, métanse por favor www.mhol.info o si están por Estados Unidos o alrededor del mundo, www.ahledu.info. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I think that's it for today.
Yeah. All right. Si tienen algunas preguntas, por favor, adelante. Si no, Muchas gracias por venir. And thank you. Thank you, Justine. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Woo.
All right, guys. See you later. See you actually on Thursday. We have another class on Thursday. Yeah, with Matt.
That's right. Don't miss it.
Yep. All right, guys. See you later. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.